Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for tuning in for Wellness Wednesday. Today, we're going to touch on mental health and baseball again, and that stigma piece that is, it's important. It's always good to keep it at the forefront. And I was doing a little work last night, searching, the MLB website and see what they had for mental health and wellness, and there's a ton of information. And I think there's an article that goes back early last year. I believe it was April 2021, in Sports Illustrated, and it was called "Baseball's Mental Health Reckoning," and it really shone a light on some players that have been changing their lives because of what's going on outside of the game, what's happening on the field. And there's a number of players who have stepped away from the game, whether it's retired early or taken a break because of mental health. And it's an uncomfortable read, but it should be. But it's never easy to talk about, which is part of the problem, right? So I'll have the link in the description of the YouTube video, and a couple pics after this as well. And the biggest part about the MLB website is their wellness section, right? And again, it's never easy to talk about mental health, but fortunately the conversation is more out in the open, probably more than it's ever been. And on their MLB Player Resource Centre, there's plethora of information. Whether it's mental fitness and well-being, major and minor league player benefits, minor league housing, continuing your education, financial support through the baseball assistance team, and virtual workshops. And of course, there's MLB and Major League Baseball. They are dedicated to the well-being of their players on and off the field, right? And in addition to all these services, there's confidential counseling, 24/7 hotline, external, internal educational resources, which support positive mental health practices. And again, you've heard me talk a lot about the stigma piece of mental health, and why it's important to just reach out to anyone you think may be struggling, right? And having this information available is a huge positive, right? One thing I did find on there, it's called Psych Hub. It's a online platform that provides free, engaging videos about mental health, substance abuse, suicide prevention, and the videos are accessible to everybody. I'll have the video about depression on after this, so you can take a look at it. It's about 3 minutes, but it's an important 3 minutes. Beneficial to watch. It's got tough language, but the message is important, and people need to hear that, right? So, but sometimes that's what's needed to kickstart the process, right? So, Major League Baseball and everyone involved with the Wellness Resource Center, thank you for putting that out there. It's a learning process, for everybody. Each time they go on something like this. So on that note, hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great rest of the week, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on next week's Wellness Wednesday. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Tampa Bay pitcher Ryan Sheriff wants you to know there is a mental health crisis percolating in baseball. Sheriff left the Rays after the second game of the season because of mental health issues. It came just after Ty Buttrey, a pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels, left baseball at the age of 28 for personal reasons. And just before, Adam Hazley, an outfielder with the Philadelphia Phillies and a former first-round pick, left baseball for personal reasons. and just before Chris Davinsky, a pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks, left baseball for personal reasons. And a year after, Andrelton Simmons, then a shortstop with the Los Angeles Angels, left baseball because of depression and suicidal thoughts. And a year after, Ian Desmond, an outfielder with the Colorado Rockies, opted out of last season, and to which he has opted out of this season as well, foregoing almost $14 million in salary in order to spend time with his family and deal with the pressures of racial injustice. These are difficult times for all of us because of the twin stressors of the COVID-19 pandemic and racial injustice. In professional sports, there is always pressure to perform. According to Sheriff, COVID has exacerbated those pressures. As he called it, it is another trigger for the professional athlete. Sheriff has a fascinating story to tell about how he reached the major leagues, about why he quit his dream job, and now why he's coming back to the Rays. Sheriff is telling his story to Sports Illustrated because he wants to be an advocate for other players who may be going through similar mental health issues. It's a fascinating story and an issue that deserves baseball's attention.
I couldn't get out of bed. I forced myself to eat.
My motivation was gone. To exercise, be with people, anything.
I used to really love to play the piano, but while I was depressed, it didn't sound fun at all.
I kept thinking there's just no reason for me to be here anymore.
These are the voices of major depressive disorder. We have all lived through a time when we felt sad and hopeless. But major depressive disorder is more than that. I know. One of these voices is mine. You'd never wish depression on anyone, but millions of people have lived it. It affects their lives, relationships, and goals for the future. It can make them feel hopeless. But 3 things are certain. Depression is not a choice. Depression doesn't mean you are weak, and depression is treatable. Your doctor might diagnose major depressive disorder, or MDD, if you have symptoms on most days for at least 2 weeks. That might not seem like a long time, but ask anyone who's lived through it, and they'll tell you it feels like forever. The main symptoms are depressed mood, or anhedonia. Depressed mood is feeling sad or blue, which a lot of people experience. Except with MDD, it's severe, and it doesn't go away. Anhedonia means loss of pleasure. In my case, playing the piano had always made me happy. When I was depressed, I had no desire to play. The other symptoms of MDD include appetite or weight changes. This can be up or down. I had no appetite and had to make myself drink those protein shakes in a can to make sure I didn't starve. Guilt. This is more than typical guilt everyone feels sometimes. In MDD, guilt makes you feel worthless and takes over your thoughts. Sleep problems. Some people can't fall asleep, or they wake up super early and can't get back to sleep. Other people sleep all day. Difficulty thinking or concentrating. I had a really hard time making decisions. I was frustrating to my friends. I couldn't help it. Looking restless and agitated, or really slowed down. I felt like I was in slow motion. Fatigue. For me, feeling tired all the time was crushing. I had no energy to do anything. Suicidal thoughts. This is the part of depression that's dangerous. If you or someone you love is having thoughts of hurting or killing yourself, get help immediately. Call 911. or call or chat the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is always available. As painful as MDD is, there is hope. There are treatments for depression that work. Talk to your doctor or any mental health care provider. Ask for help. It works. People can go on to live happy lives. I know. I did.